Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to the class of civics. In the previous class, I had explained to you the relationship between Prime Minister and the President, and the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. I hope it is clear for you. Now let's move on to the next two relationships or the powers of the Prime Minister. That is, Prime Minister inside the Parliament. Second, Prime Minister as the leader of the nation. These are the two things I need to learn today. Prime Minister inside the Parliament. What does the Prime Minister do in the Parliament? There are 4 points that you need to understand in this particular topic. The first one, he is the leader of the Lok Sabha. The Prime Minister is the leader of the Lok Sabha. And how does that happen? The Prime Minister normally, or Prime Minister is the leader of the majority party in the Parliament. At present, we have got BJP government that has got majority in the Parliament. So what happens? Our Narendra Modi Prime Minister is the leader of the majority party in the Parliament. So that's why he is considered, that's why he is known as the leader of the Lok Sabha. So the leader of the majority party in the Parliament becomes the leader of the Lok Sabha. Second, the spokesperson of the government. The Prime Minister becomes or acts as the spokesperson of the government. The Prime Minister is considered as the chief spokesman of the government. It is the Prime Minister who makes all the important announcements on national policies. That's why he is considered as the spokesperson of the government. Third one is the defender of government policies. Defender of government policies. The Prime Minister will defend the government in the Parliament. When questions are asked, when the questions are raised against the policies of the government, it is the Prime Minister who will defend the government in the Parliament. And when the policy of a minister is under attack by the other opposition party or by other people, it is the Prime Minister who will defend the minister. So that's what you made the term called collective responsibility. So it is a Prime Minister who will defend the government policies, and also he will defend a minister when he or she is under attack in the Parliament. And last one is intervention in controversial policies. Whatever. When there are issues related to language issues, center-state relationships, and if there is any difficult situation that arises in any of the houses of Parliament, the matter will be stopped with the intervention of the Prime Minister. That is the power given to the Prime Minister of India. When there is an ugly situation, when there is a dirty situation, which means when there is a quarrel or a fight on a matter on language issues or center-state relations, if there is any difficult situation happens in any house of the Parliament, the matter will be entered or matter will be stopped with the intervention of the Prime Minister. So these are the 4 things that you need to remember under the heading called Prime Minister inside the Parliament. How does the Prime Minister become the leader of Lok Sabha? How does the Prime Minister act as a spokesperson of the government? How does the Prime Minister become a defender of government policies? And how does the Prime Minister intervene in controversial issues? So these are the 4 things I need to remember with regard to the Prime Minister inside the Parliament. And last topic related to this particular content is the Prime Minister as the leader of nation. How does the Prime Minister become the leader of nation? The Prime Minister, it is a Prime Minister who will represent the nation. Which means India is represented by the Prime Minister of India. And during the national crisis, even the opposition parties will have to support the Prime Minister. During the national crisis, when India is facing a national crisis, the opposition parties cannot blame the Prime Minister. They too will have to support and be with the Prime Minister, because the whole of India faces a national crisis. So, during the national crisis, even the opposition parties will have to support the Prime Minister. And it is the Prime Minister who will decide what kind of relations India must have with the other countries. What must be the relationship of India with Pakistan, with America, with Iran, with Iraq, or whatever it is. All those policies are decided by the Prime Minister of India. And the Prime Minister will try to protect the interests of our country at international meetings or the forums. When the Prime Minister goes for an international meeting, he will defend and he will protect, the Prime Minister will defend and protect the interests of our country. And during the general election, it is for the proposed suggested Prime Minister that the people vote for. Which means, before the general election happens, the parties will propose someone as the next Prime Minister. And it is for this suggested or proposed Prime Minister that the people vote for during the election. The last one, when a person becomes a Prime Minister of India, he automatically becomes its official chairman. Which means, when a person is appointed as a Prime Minister of India, that person automatically becomes the ex-official chairman of Niti Aayog and the Atomic Energy Commission. So these are the things that you need to remember with regard to Prime Minister as the leader of nation. Prime Minister represents the nation during the national crisis. The opposition parties support the Prime Minister. Prime Minister will decide what kind of relations India must have with the other countries. Prime Minister protects and defends the interests of our country when the Prime Minister goes for an international meeting. And during the general election, it is for the suggested Prime Minister, the proposed Prime Minister that the people vote for. And Prime Minister becomes the ex-official chairman. Ex-official chairman means by the power of that particular position. Which means, when a person becomes a Prime Minister, with the virtue of that particular position, he becomes the chairman of Niti Aayog and the Atomic Energy Commission. Hope it is clear, these 2 points. Move on to last 2 topics in this particular chapter, that is collective responsibility and individual responsibility. These are the 2 more topics that have to be learned. The first one is collective responsibility. Collective responsibility. Second one is individual responsibility. And what does it mean? What are these 2 topics? The first one, collective responsibility. It is given in article number 75.3. Article 75.3. It means the Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to the House of People. I hope you remember the term called Council of Ministers, which means Prime Minister and all the ministers appointed by the Prime Minister, appointed by the President on the advice of a Prime Minister. So, Article 75.3 says that the Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to the House of People. And what does it mean? The decisions taken at the cabinet meeting. I hope you know the term called cabinet ministers. When they have the cabinet meeting, when the decisions are taken at the cabinet meeting, those decisions are equally applicable to all the ministers, even if they have got different opinion. Okay? And all the ministers jointly share responsibility for all the government policies and the performances. Which means when the government performances, when the government does well, and the moment when the government does not do well, the responsibility is equally shared by all the ministers. The minister cannot stand up and say that, it is not my concern, it is not my duty. The minister cannot say that one, because they have something called a collective responsibility. Which means all the ministers will share equal responsibility for the government policy. They cannot say that it's not our duty, it is the duty of that particular person. They cannot blame each other. They have got something called a collective responsibility, which means the decisions taken at the cabinet meeting are equally applicable to all the ministers, even if they do not agree. Even if I do not agree, I cannot say that I will not agree to this particular point, because you have got something called a collective responsibility. I hope you have cleared this particular term called collective responsibility, which means all the ministers have got equal, or they take joint responsibility for all the policies and the performances of the government. Whether it be good or bad, they have got equal, or they share joint responsibility. All of them have got a collective responsibility. So that's what the term called collective responsibility, given in article number 75(3), which means the Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible. It's not one person who is responsible. All the ministers are collectively responsible to the House of People. Now what's the next point? The individual responsibility. Individual responsibility means all the ministers are individually responsible to the President of India, because the ministers are appointed by the President of India. So all the ministers are individually responsible to the President of India, and all the ministers are answerable in the Parliament for their department. When the questions are asked with regard to the railway department, the railway minister will have to stand up and answer the questions. He cannot say I will not answer, or he cannot say that it is not my duty. He has to answerable, or he is answerable. The railway minister is answerable in the Parliament for his or her department, and it is obligatory to answer all questions asked by the MPs. Okay, so if I am a minister, I have got two responsibilities. First one is collective responsibility, means I will have to support the policies of the government. I have to agree, I have to support it. And individual responsibility is that I am responsible for my department. Whatever happens in my department, I am answerable. I need to take up the responsibility. And each minister is responsible for the personal lapse. Personal lapse means personal mistake and departure from official policy departure from the official policy means I cannot move away from the official policy of the government, and breach violating the oath of secrecy. Okay. First one is personal lapse. Second one is official policy of the government and violating the oath of secrecy. So a minister has got two responsibilities. One is collective responsibility, means I take collective response. All the ministers are collectively responsible to the House of People, which means the decisions taken at the cabinet meeting are equally applicable to all the ministers. I need to accept the decisions taken at the cabinet meeting. Individual responsibility means I am responsible to the President, because the minister is appointed by the President of India, and I am answerable, or a particular minister is answerable for all the things that happen under his or her department. And each minister is responsible for three things. One is personal mistake, personal lapse and personal mistake. departure, moving away from the official policy. Third one, violating or breach of oath of secrecy. So this is what I mean the term called individual responsibility and collective responsibility. As an individual person, as an individual minister, I am responsible for my department, and as part of the government, I am responsible for the policies of the government. Whether it be good or bad, I support or I have to take responsibility for the policies of the government. So these are the 4 things that we have learned today. For Prime Minister inside the Parliament, Prime Minister as a leader of the nation, collective responsibility and individual responsibility. If it is clear for you, kindly go through the video along with the notes, complete the notes in the copy, and you can send me in the WhatsApp. Kindly go through the video and try to understand the content. Thank you.